Good evening, everyone. Today is Thursday, January 12th, 2017. This is the Board of Selectmen's meeting starting at 7 o'clock. First up on our agenda is a request for the approval of the Winter Festival on the Town Common on February 11th, 2017. Meg O'Leary, come on down. Meg.
Hey guys.
How are you?
Good, thanks for making the time.
Sure.
So there's actually an amendment to the date, which is March 4th, 2017.
Okay.
And I'm not sure I actually need anything from you. It's just more of a heads up, and it involves so many participants from town. I just wanted you all to be
Thank you.
aware. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
All right, that's fine.
I'm unsure.
Sure.
I will share.
Sorry about that. So we're actually planning a one-day festival. It's sort of on and around the common. You may have noted that the amphitheater is finished. It's actually in the next couple of weeks going to be turned into a skating rink. So it will be used before then, but we actually want to have a festival on the common on the 4th. So we'll begin with a brunch at Davis Hall in cooperation with Reverend Jones and that community. And then we'll be moving over to the festival on the common. There'll be music, hopefully ice skating and children's snowshoe races. There's actually going to be a 1-mile snowshoe race on the trails, ice sculpting, some well-insured fire acts, some small bonfires, and the International is going to host hot chocolate stations. Chiefs Nelson and Menzel have both approved the date and will be enlisting and paying for their detail.
Let's finish, but
Yeah.
we'll get back to that.
Okay, and then at 4 o'clock, again, I don't think there's an impact for you, but it will continue over at the International courtesy of Daily Dock and Company.
Okay. All right.
So it's really more of a heads up than anything else, and just that it will be creating noise, significant noise on common and parking at Trinity, and we will have police detail to provide safety in the walking from the parking lots, both Davis Hall and Trinity over to the common.
Okay. So you conferred with Chief Nelson on this?
Mm-hmm.
Getting back to the detail, I know that last year you were in, there were 2 events that you asked the town to sort of pick up the detail on, and I think at that point in time, it was, yeah, we'll do that for those, but moving forward, it would be sort of on a case-by-case basis.
Well, I believe at that time, my appeal was to get police detail for events that were free of charge. And there was just one event that you all approved. It was the tree lighting, tree and menorah lighting, which was great and very helpful to have that covered. We did not charge for that event. Other events, such as the 5K, we actually paid full police detail on our own. We'll be charging a small fee for participation in the festival, but we'll use those funds principally to cover the detail.
Okay, okay. So it's the details on you, not the set of town. Cool. Okay, that's great. Okay. I think I saw something from Chief Nelson asking how many folks, and I don't think you know yet the number of people.
We don't know, but we are going to ask people to pre-register.
Okay.
So we will have a better feel when the time comes. But we also
Okay.
know it will be, depending on the weather, we got half as many people to the tree lighting this year just because it was so cold.
Yeah.
In this case, we might get half as many people if it's too warm. So we're at the mercy of the.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
No, it sounds
All right.
good. Any
All right.
other questions? Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Meg.
You too.
Is Brian Lafferty coming in?
Yes, he is.
We're expecting this.
Okay, well, he's not here. Well, maybe while we're waiting for Mr. Lafferty, you have a brief administrator update.
I do, pretty much a repeat of what I said at Tri-Town last night, but we will be having a follow-up meeting to the meeting we had a few months ago at the high school relative to Department of Transportation and how we can make the area around the high school safer than it is now. At the last meeting, we said that the first things we could do was put some new signs up, you know, that had better reflectivity, and, you know, served a better purpose, which we've done.
Mhm.
And we've also trimmed back the brush quite a bit, as if you're looking eastbound coming out of Green Road. So I think the line of sight has been improved there.
Okay.
But I've had some conversations with DOT, and, which resulted in them suggesting actually that we have another meeting.
Mhm.
And I meant to get the email out today to everyone as a reminder, but I didn't get to that, so I will attempt to do that tomorrow. But it'll be 3 o'clock at the high school, with a representative from Lancaster, representative from Stowe, representative from Bolton, as well as the chief and myself, and our school committee reps, Neil and Lorraine, will be invited again as well. Someone from public waste safety, so the same functions as last time.
Right.
And I thought it was a very useful meeting last time. I think we made some progress, and I think what we'll be talking about at this one will show that we've been making progress, so
Okay.
I'm very hopeful.
Okay, and that's, I think we talked about this previously, since Tom met with Barry Lauren and you at one meeting, that, Jonathan, you were at the last meeting, I'd like to go to this one, so.
Yeah, I'd like to go as well, so I think we should just post it.
Yeah, we can post it.
Okay, that's fine.
And I mean, if you were available and you wanted to come to.
What's the date again?
It's January 24th. Oh, that's right, yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, so that's good.
And before I forget, you were right last night, the February meeting is the 9th and not the 2nd.
Okay, well, good. Good. All right, that's it for you?
That's it for me.
Okay.
I withheld my Minuteman update.
All right, well, then maybe we should move ahead and do some Board of Selectmen business. The first item, which is vote to approve the bills and payroll warrant, warrant number W17-14 and W17-14A dated January 4th, 2017.
That's a result of a seminar that was put on by DOR that Nautical went to. DOR recommends that it's a good practice after the warrant is signed to actually have the selectmen vote the warrant at the next meeting. So it's really just a formality.
Sure. Okay.
But it'll be a regular agenda item from this point forward.
Okay, so, I mean, I think that one has been signed, so I'll take a motion to approve those two warrants, which have been signed.
Move that.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Next up, there's a request for the selectmen to sign a letter of support asking our elected officials to pass legislation that continues to make the state a leader in installation and production of green energy, protects ratepayers from pipeline tariffs, and works to achieve the goals set by the Global Warming Solutions Act. This was a request made by a resident who had either reached out or had been reached out by someone from the organization that would like us to sign this. And I took a look at it, and generally I don't have a problem with it, but unfortunately, the link that was provided had zero information on the organization, and who was involved in it. And going back and looking at the email trail of the individual who had sent it to the resident, that individual is involved in a couple of other organizations, one which is sort of defunct now, which has to do with the pipeline. You know, in general, I don't have a problem signing it, but the thing is, I'm not necessarily knowing what I'm signing and for what organization I'm signing it for. And I think it would have been better for the individual who reached out to our resident to directly contact you in this matter. So I know that there's a deadline associated with this, but I'm not necessarily 100% comfortable in signing something that just says, sign here. It's sort of like, you know, MASH with radar, bringing the colonel a piece of paper and signing it, you know, the colonel doesn't know what somebody's signing. So itself, the principles that it had in it, I think were fine. It's just that this Mass Power organization, there's very little information on who they are.
Stan, I think maybe what someone was gonna come in to speak to it, maybe Betsy was going to, or ahead of schedule, so.
Yeah, well, okay, well, then we can maybe table that one as well, and see if someone comes in, or we can put it on the agenda for the next time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
is there a state bill or a law or something already circulating, or is this just sort of a general?
This is just kind of a general letter, please,
So there is no specific bill in the state legislature? It's
not
just
that I can
they
recall,
sort of
not that I can recall.
urge the state
Right, right.
legislature whenever they have an opportunity to pass something like
Yeah,
this?
so it's just more, please do good things and,
Yeah.
all that good stuff,
Seems sort of diffuse. I might say I'm not sure everyone will recognize your match references.
Oh, true. I know, it's getting kind of interesting, where you mentioned some things that, half the audience was born a long time ago, or not that long ago, and they don't know if it's true.
Yeah, I think Sharon Chappelle is coming in,
Okay.
and here she is.
Here she is.
Are you all ready?
Ahead of
That
schedule.
We're
Well,
just cruising along here.
I am seldom agreed with, and
Here she is.
Well, there you go.
here I am.
Are you here to talk about the letters that we're being asked to sign?
Yes.
Very good, well, come on down.
So just briefly, you've read this, so you know what it's intended, but for our audience. The letter encourages our elected officials to continue to pass legislation, to continue our state leadership in the installation and production of green energy. So this is a letter directed to the heads of our legislative bodies. It protects ratepayers from pipeline tariffs and works to achieve, they're ahead of
I was
schedule
at
as
town
well.
hall.
And it works to achieve the goals set by the Global Warming Solutions Act. And the reason why we're asking Bolden to vote with the Selectmen to sign this is that we really have been working in this area for some time. So we've just recently met the requirements for a green community designation. And I'm here to announce to you the glorious data from the Solar at Bolton program, which ended at the end of November. We ended with 54 contracts and 441 kilowatts of solar energy to be produced, which we're really pleased with. And Jane, you were going to talk about the early pipelines.
Well, part of this is to just keep encouraging our state Senate and House to support what we've been up to already. You wrote a very strong letter against the Kinder Morgan pipeline. And there are threats of additional pipelines, and not only that, but making the citizens pay the rates for the pipeline, even though a lot of the gas may be exported. So we just want to tell them that we're on board, and I'd like them to be on board and keep up the good work.
So we're asking the town to simply stand behind us again on that.
So the organization for which the link, I think it was Mass Power, because it really wasn't much, that's all legit?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
just want to make sure.
Yeah, right, yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
So,
Yes, David?
The Global Warming Solutions Act, is that a state law or a
Yes.
federal? It's a state law.
that was the state. I think it was
Gentlemen, have any questions?
a-
Well, we haven't voted yet, so.
We haven't voted, just switch it. We're saying, I figure we do our
Boy.
thing and then you vote.
You're in an awful hurry to leave, aren't you?
Well, I
Don't you like being here?
I didn't want to actually steal your thunder, that's what it is, you know.
All right, so will I take a motion to vote to sign the letter in question?
I'll move that.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
So Stan, I was provided with the letter in a doc
Okay.
format so that you can sign it, and then I
Cool.
know you can do it electronically online too, so I'll be sure that that gets done tomorrow.
All right.
That's I'd like to scan that and send it over to them.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Great.
Okay, great, no, I appreciate you coming in. Yeah, I think the solarized bulletin thing was quite a success. Did we ever hear whether or not the DOER sort of backed off on their January 8th deadline for?
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
But I'm happy that two of our selectmen have signed up to go solar. And
Yeah.
one-
That's a continuous
Are you,
saga.
are you?
I'm all set,
up?
yeah.
Are you, are you now producing?
Oh, yeah, since the 28th. Yeah. No, I called, I had spoke with President Solarized Bolton. I called Mass DOER
Ah, great.
about 6 or 7 times in regards to that. Never got a call back, but I think they were possibly, we were trying to get everybody under the wire there, but
I think they're trying.
yeah.
Did I sign up after that date?
Well, you had to actually be hooked up and to National Grid.
No.
So Jonathan was the very last
I remember reading
person
about that.
to sign.
Yep.
He likes drama. But it is an immensely exciting thing.
Oh, yeah, it's
When-
great.
When we had ours hooked up, I don't wanna take time for this, but, we kept running over to watch the meter go backward. It was a sunny day, and we started off because we had a new meter, and we were at 100 kilowatt hours as of for 1 week. And as the day went on, we wound up at 92. It was yes. And in our comparison, so I think everybody here gets a comparison of how you're doing with regard to your neighbors. And we've always been in the kind of good but not great category.
Right.
And we just got ours, and we just dipped below the usage of our most efficient, the 20%
Yeah.
most efficient neighbors.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that next one as
So
well.
it's really an exciting thing
Yeah.
to use the sun, it appears,
Yeah.
to give us our
Yeah.
energy. So thank you very much, Sonia.
Thank you.
We're not gonna leave till you tell us we can now after that last. one.
You- I-
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay, though. You're welcome to stay.
Brian's here.
All right. Brian, why don't you come on down?
Apologize,
Oh, no.
I got dressed, but 11 minutes ago, I was in the shower. Last time I was in this room and saw you, we had hair. You still had brown hair. And I don't know you. Brian Levy.
I was also taller, too.
You're way taller back then, holy Toledo, yeah. But I didn't realize that, I didn't know that this was the Lois Alex.
Yeah.
That's cool. What a cool picture of
Yeah.
her. But I'll tell you, if I develop every minute I spent in this room with Lois back in the day, or all of us, right?
Good.
Yeah. So, I'm here on behalf of the International for sign permits. And they kind of messed up about 3 weeks ago, with the sign, got in a little trouble, and I then explained to Dan, we gotta, well, it's my property, and it's the same. Dan, you know, there's a process we gotta go through, and fee we have to pay. So, we're here for 2 sign permits. The first one is for, Bill, what's his name? Bill Whistle's old house that we rent. I assume you folks know, why we're renting and how that all came about.
No.
I'm not sure.
You know, yeah. We were, really the real impetus was the Conservation Trust approached us. They thought that they wanted to make sure that something compatible with their investment next door, was in the building. And quite honestly, it became it was more cost effective for us to rent that building and create a little awareness for the club than it was for our monthly budget with the local comment. So it worked out pretty nicely for us. And when they had the tree lighting, we opened up a little pop-up store and coffee and that sort of stuff. And we don't have any real sort of specific sort of thing we want to do with it other than sort of just have a presence in the center of town. And the International sort of, you've been around a long time in town. And John, have you been in town a long time?
10 years.
Oh, is that, okay, so big. But, you know, the international was sort of been separate and distinct from the community for a very long time. It was sort of the, you know, that other side of
Mhm.
the world, and now we're trying to make a real concerted effort to, you know, become more community-oriented and more, you know, part of the fabric of the town. So we sort of want to have a presence down there and have that available for anything that may come up. Obviously, you can't do much there because the parking situation isn't great, but it's sort of convenient if the Conservation Trust has something going on next door or something like that. So we want to put a sign up there, which is the same size as currently a sign up there for the woman that she has a sort of medical tattooing situation. I'm sorry?
Microblading.
But whatever it is, yeah. But originally, everybody heard it was gonna be tattoos, which was kind of one of the reasons that we were approached, that they would prefer something innocuous rather than a tattoo ball on the side of town. And can't say I blame them for that one. So on the sign we have in mind is exactly the same size, and it just goes on the other side of the post. They have a post with a hanger on both sides, which I'm sure you have in your package tonight, Linda. I'm sure you have a picture of what you do.
Yeah, you had to sign up for a little while.
Yeah, we had it up for about 24 hours, and, you know, we worked, Mike called me, I've known Mike for many, many, many years, up in Bloomberg too, and, yeah, we got a call, and, I'm on my way down here, I just go right down and put up the flips, and says, yes, I'm antagonizing anybody, you know, been there, done that, so we'd like a permit for that, again, identical size. And then there's been a sign for, I don't know, at least 40 years, sort of on the corner of Main Street in the split, yeah, going up the hill, Wildwood. And it's essentially just, it's the same size sign, it just identifies the fireplace room, if that's where it is, which is a restaurant. And we'd just like to take out the one that's there and put that one on.
Okay, so I guess there's a red one for the International, there's a blue one for Twin Springs.
I believe this is blue for Twin Springs, yeah.
And so you want to put the red one off and.
Yes, and just replace it with that.
What are the colors?
It's sort of a greenish type thing. If you've been to the International recently, with the fork in the road is
It's the same.
same
Right,
exact
right,
logo.
right.
It's sort of it's actually, and I sort of impressed on Dan. We started talking about the signs a couple of months ago. I says, you know, Dan, and I deal with signs in communities all over the state, and it's always a hot button. And I says, you know what? The nicer it looks and the classier it looks, the more palatable it normally is.
Yeah.
And I think that the artist did a terrific job coming up with that logo.
Yeah.
It's basically green, it has a little reddish orange flag.
So is this the actual sign, or is this the one that's up at the corner of Wilder?
No, this is what is being replaced. The other one is just a plain rectangular
Correct, it's just
sign.
plain rectangle,
It's
says
a red
International.
background with white lettering, and underneath it is the Twin Springs, which is blue.
Which is blue, correct.
Blue background and white lettering. Basically the same, roughly the same.
Yeah, just about the same dimensions, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, just, the EDC's done a lot of work on the sign as you get off at the interchange, you know, made a really nice sign. And I know, you know, part of their thinking is down the road are, you know, the signs all throughout town, that they would kind of follow that. You know, I'm not gonna stop this, but I just think it's important that all businesses try and work with EDC on their sign.
Who's EDC?
Economic Development Committee. I'm sure they'd be really easy to work with, but trying to get our signage all to be similar for businesses, not exactly the same in terms of logos, but just so we don't have this kind of crazy quilt of markers on poles everywhere, but.
I deal a lot with the city of Medford, so we've had this conversation many times. Struggle with some of that sort of stuff. And, you know, everybody tries to keep it pretty tight.
No, this looks like a good sign.
And you know, and yeah, I mean, the one that's down here is just the logo, nothing.
Yeah,
you know.
no, it's fine. I think it's fine. I have no problem with either sign. I think it's fine.
I don't either.
I'll take a motion to approve the signs, the two sign requests for the International.
Move that. Second?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Super.
Terrific, thanks so much, appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you again. You too, Tom. Meet you, Tom.
Yeah.
All right, so that's that. Next
Oh,
up,
okay. You just see Mike with those.
Yeah, well, come in and see Jenny.
See Jen. Thank you, I appreciate it.
all right, next up is the designation of the animal control officer from Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 151. So this is just more of a, I assume it's more of a formality, done?
It is, it's something that apparently they would like to see every year. So we got the request. I'm not so sure it was a request as a statement, but it just requires the Board of Selectmen to, and we do appoint her already in June.
Right.
But I guess a citation under the statute is what they want.
And they're just
And
trying.
and then we need to get the form into them.
Okay, so this is the form, and just basically,
Yeah.
we need to vote on the
Mhm.
form
And sign it.
and execute, so. I'll take
They're
a
just trying
motion.
to update their database too.
Right.
and everybody.
So I'll take a motion for the designation of the animal control officer for Mass General Law, Chapter 140, Section 151.
I'll move that.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, aye. Alrighty. Okey-dokey, there you go, Linda. Okay. I think that's, do we have minutes?
You do, you have 2 sets of minutes.
Okay.
Selectman has them right there.
Okay.
And you will be getting a lot more from me in the next
Okay.
week or so.
All right, so we have regular session minutes from June 9th and June 23rd to approve, as well as,
Those two.
all those,
Yeah.
so, okay, so June 9th and June 23rd, regular session minutes to approve. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion. I'll move that.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. I also sent you the ones for the,
Law committee?
yeah, the law.
Yeah, we'll do that
Okay.
at the next meeting when Pat.
And as a reminder,
Okay.
there will be a law committee meeting at 6:30 in 2 weeks before the regularly scheduled selectmen's meeting.
Okay. All right. Anything from the audience? Okay. Gentlemen, anything else you want to discuss before we go into executive session?
No, thank you.
Okay. Signs? Good night, Bob.
Thank you.
Good night.
Nice.
Good night, David.
So long.
Nice.
And when they were talking about the signage, I remember you made reference to the MASH signpost about the,
And we will not be going here.
because we had 2 MASH.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick as you know, so you
I have to hang around.
I
Go
like
home,
those new
be
signs
here
coming up,
for-
I-
You wanna stay here, right? No, he's being really good. Is he? Yeah.
Tell Bert we said
And he's
hi.
got a hockey game tonight.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay, let's get going. Okay, thanks. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Hope your shoulder gets better.
Thank you. Did you already vote?
No, we're still waiting.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Signage.
Sorry.
Signage.
Is John joining us?
No, he's still out.
He's still
He's still out. I expect him back in another week or so.
Operation or cold?
No, he fell.
Oh.
He got a really bad concussion.
Ouch. At work or at home?
I'm not sure. Well, actually, yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it wasn't when he was here at the fire department, but I don't know if it was his daytime job or if it
No,
was.
he was at home.
Is it?
Okay. There you go, John. Alrighty, seeing there's no more Board of Selectmen business, then the next item on our agenda is to move into executive session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining for the fire union, as the chair finds that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the board's bargaining position, and the board will not reconvene back into open session. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Linda, roll call.
Keith,
Here.
Wasaki,
Yes.
Frame.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Good night, everyone. See you in a couple of weeks. And Don, you can shut us off.
That's right.
Thank you very much.